Everyone's debating whether Bittensor is dead or the next 100x. Meanwhile, they're missing the actual innovation buried in the code. Imagine a blockchain where intelligence is what's mined, where you earn rewards for contributing useful AI work. That's exactly what Bittensor does using a mechanism called Yuma Consensus. It's rarely mentioned and evolving. No price predictions, no hopium, just the one mechanism that makes Bittensor fundamentally different and whether it's actually as genius as it sounds. Welcome back to Deciphering Crypto. I'm Shay, and we make crypto, blockchain, and AI simple for everyone. By the end of this video, you'll understand how Bittensor created what some call proof of intelligence and why that could change everything. Bittensor is a decentralized network where AI models compete to provide the best outputs. Each specialized network, called a subnet, focuses on a specific AI task. One subnet might be for chatbots, another for image generation, another for predictions. In Bitcoin's proof of work, miners solve math problems. In Ethereum's proof of stake, you lock up tokens to validate blocks. Both systems work, but they don't care about the quality of work being done. Bittensor is different. They asked, what if we only rewarded useful AI work? What if the blockchain could actually measure intelligence and contribution quality? That's where Yuma Consensus comes in, often called proof of intelligence in the community, and this mechanism, it's the reason Bittensor could outlast 90% of AI crypto projects, even if the price doesn't show it yet. Let me show you why. Most people think Bittensor is just a decentralized AI models competing on a blockchain. Technically true, but that's like saying Bitcoin is just digital money. You're missing the entire revolution. The real innovation isn't that AI models compete, it's how the network decides who wins without a central authority. Because in a decentralized system, how do you stop validators from cheating? How do you prevent collusion? How do you reward honest judging? Here's how Yuma Consensus works. Think of it like a giant science fair for AI models. This analogy should make everything click. Step 1. Miners do the work. The contestants, called miners in Bittensor, are AI models. In each subnet, miners constantly produce outputs, answer medical questions, generate images, make predictions, whatever that subnet specializes in. They're like contestants at a science fair, each presenting their best project. Step 2. Validators score the work. They are the judges. These are called validators. Validators test each miner's output and give them a score, technically called a weight. Higher weight means this AI produced great work. But here's the twist. Not all judges are equal. Each validator's influence is determined by stake-weighted trust. Basically, validators who have more tau delegated to them by the community have a louder voice. It's like veteran expert judges at a real science fair having more influence than first-timers. Why? Because the community has seen them judge fairly over time and trust their opinion more. You might be wondering what stops judges from boosting their friends' scores to split the rewards. That brings us to step 3, it's clipping. This is where Yuma gets pretty brilliant. The algorithm takes all the validators' weights, imagine hundreds of judges' scorecards, and looks for consensus. If most trusted validators gave a miner 7 or 8 out of 10, but one validator gave it a 2 and another gave it a 10, those outlier scores get clipped, meaning they're cut down or ignored entirely. Think of it like figure skating competitions. They drop the highest and lowest scores to prevent bias. Yuma does the same thing, but automatically, on-chain, using mathematical process that compares each validator's weights against the consensus. There's even a penalty factor called beta in the code that punishes validators whose weights exceed what the majority supports. In plain English, if you give weird scores that don't match everyone else, the algorithm notices you and you earn less. So if a validator tries to cheat by giving their own miner perfect scores while everyone else rates it average, the algorithm catches it, clips those fake scores, and that validator earns almost nothing. Over time, cheaters lose stake, lose influence, and get pushed out. Step 4. The reward distribution. Based on the consensus, emissions, that's the technical term for rewards in Bittensor, get distributed. Miners receive tau tokens proportional to their consensus performance rank. The better your AI performed according to the validator community, the more tau you earn. But here's the part most people miss. Validators also get rewards called dividends for being good judges. If your scoring of miners closely matched what the consensus decided, you get paid well. If you gave oddball inaccurate scores, you get penalized. Think of it like restaurant reviewers who also get rated. Imagine food critics, validators, reviewing restaurants, miners, but the critics also get rewards based on whether their reviews match the general consensus of patrons. If a critic constantly hypes terrible restaurants that nobody else likes, people stop trusting them and they lose rewards. Good critics who reliably spot great restaurants gain followers and perks. Meanwhile, restaurants strive to cook better food to get better reviews. Everyone has an incentive to do the best and be honest. The system is self-correcting. It punishes lazy validators and low-quality miners while rewarding genuine value and fair judgment. And then there's step 5, bonds. Now here's where it gets really clever. Over time, Yuma builds bonds between validators and miners. This is like a running score of trust. When a validator consistently and accurately scores a miner's work high, and that miner actually performs well according to consensus, a bond forms. The stronger the bond, the more dividends that validator earns when that miner gets rewarded. These bonds update gradually, each cycle using something called an exponential moving average. Fancy term that just means we adjust slowly based on recent history, not sudden jumps. By default, bonds adjust about 2.5% per cycle, so the system stays stable while still adapting to new information. And in 2024, Bittensor upgraded this with something called Liquid Alpha. Now this is interesting. In the old system, a validator who spotted a great miner early couldn't build a bond until other big validators also started voting for that miner. This discouraged independent thinking. Liquid Alpha, introduced in Yuma Consensus 3, changed this. Now each validator-miner pair can grow at its own pace. Spot a rising star before the crowd, your bond starts forming immediately, even if others haven't noticed yet. Alpha just means each pair has its own adjustment speed, and liquid means it flows independently. This rewards early recognition and prevents everyone from just copying the majority. The early bird gets the worm. So that's the mechanism, but why go through all this complexity? Why not just use proof of work or proof of stake like everyone else? Here's the fundamental difference. Bitcoin's proof of work is basically a race. Whoever runs the hardest wins. The work is meaningless. It's just finding a number. Ethereum's proof of stake is like a shareholder vote. The more coins you hold and stake, the more power you have. Your wealth determines influence. Yuma Consensus is like a judged competition where skill and intelligence win. You don't earn Tau just for owning Tau or solving problems fast. You earn it by contributing useful AI work, miners, or accurately judging useful AI work, validators. This is why people call it proof of intelligence. Unlike proof of work or proof of stake, Yuma prioritizes the intellectual contributions of nodes, not just raw power or wealth. It aligns the entire blockchain's incentives with advancing machine intelligence. Whether you're bullish or bearish on Bittensor's price, you have to admit this is fundamentally different from every other blockchain consensus mechanism out there. Yuma Consensus is genuinely innovative. I haven't seen another blockchain that ties rewards directly to useful work quality and accurate evaluation like this. The mechanism is elegant. Miners compete on quality, validators compete on judgment accuracy, bonds reward long-term relationships, clipping prevents manipulation. The system self-corrects over time, but innovation doesn't guarantee market success. Bittensor faces competition from centralized AI labs with massive resources, other crypto AI projects with different approaches. The fundamental question, will people actually use decentralized AI at scale? Yuma does a great job of solving the incentive problem. It creates a fair, cheat-resistant way to reward AI quality in a decentralized network. But it doesn't solve adoption, user experience, or competing with OpenAI's marketing budget and brand recognition. Here's what I'm watching for in 2026. Subnet diversity. Are new specialized markets launching and thriving? Validator decentralization. Is stake spreading out or concentrating among a few? Real-world products. Are actual applications being built on top of Bittensor subnets? Bond health. Are early recognizers actually earning more? proving the mechanism works. The mechanism is sound. The latest version of Yuma Consensus 3 addressed real fairness issues. The vision of a permissionless, merit-based AI network is compelling. The question isn't whether Yuma Consensus is clever. It is. The question is whether the market rewards this kind of innovation, whether developers build on it, and whether the network can scale while maintaining decentralization. If you're researching Bittensor, don't just look at price charts. Understand how the network actually works, because Yuma Consensus is the heart beating at the center, the engine that makes the entire decentralized intelligence vision possible. If you're interested in supporting the channel and investing in projects like Tau, I've partnered with Caleb and Brown, a crypto broker that offers personalized service, especially helpful for altcoins and larger trades. Their expertise and white glove service is excellent. If you use my referral link in the description, you'll get priority service and you'll support the channel. It's a win-win. And as always, none of this has been financial advice. Always do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. Next time someone talks about blockchain consensus mechanisms, ask them, have you heard of Yuma Consensus? It might just be one of the most innovative consensus designs out there, powering a network where the best AI work and the fairest judges win, without permission, building toward a truly decentralized intelligence. If this breakdown helped you understand the actual innovation behind Bittensor, hit the like button and let me know in the comments. I read every single one. What clicked for you in this breakdown? What crypto projects or tech should I look into? Let me know. For more easy to understand explanations that cut through the hype and focus on mechanisms and objectivity, subscribe and hit the bell. Remember, you can learn it and do it. You're smarter than you think. See you next week. Take care.